You're listening to Season 6 of the Three Angry Giant Fans of the Jet Fan podcast, sponsored by Carolina Beer Temple. Join us weekly as we complain about our team's dismal performances, the shenanigans in the NFL, and other assorted nonsense. We also give our pet peeves and answer listener questions. Check us out on YouTube. Go to our website, angryfootballfans.com, and subscribe to our podcast wherever you get yours. We have a lot of fun doing this. We appreciate all the support. Go Jets and go Giants.
Sundays hit different when your team can't score. Giants go 3 and out, Jets punt on 4. Same sad story on a Monday morn, but we still talk bold like a first-round pick born. One's screaming Danny Dimes, one's done with the coach, one's blaming O-line, one's roasting the approach. MetLife madness, share the same home turf, but the group text thread look like pure high mics on, yeah, the rage feels right. Laugh through the pain every primetime night. Therapy in a hoodie, let the fans log in. No cap, no filter, just the truth we're dropping. We got hot mics on, yeah, the rage feels right. Laugh through the pain every primetime night. Therapy in a hoodie, let the fans log in. No cap, no filter, just the truth we're dropping. From draft day dreams to December despair. If your team's a mess, you'll feel seen here. Grab a drink, grab a seat, let the rants begin.
So that is our theme song that was produced by ChatGPT. So Novak plugged this in. Sounds legitimate, but that's going to be our intro song. So it's that's
It's not Happy
fantastic.
ChatGPT. I hired a rapper. It's 15 Cent. A Charlotte-based rapper. He's awesome.
Help! I'm
Derek
gonna
pulling his weight
gotta
as the
help our-
intern, getting things done.
help our host out here, though. It's Chat GPT.
Oh.
GPT.
Yes, P.
What does the P stand for versus the B?
I don't know what the G and the T stand for, so I don't know.
We're
I don't
the
either.
least technically savvy pod
No
in
idea.
all of podcasting.
So we are the Three Angry Giant Fans of the Jet Fan podcast. Your host Scott, Giant Mike, Cardone, and Angry Jets fan Novak. Giants were on a bye. We'll talk about how that actually was good for them. Jets got beat, and that actually might be good for them too. So it'll be an interesting pod. We got some questions to go through. We got previews. But before we get into everything, let's give a shout out. So this is a good one. It's Hello Hollywood, Florida. Population 49,000. No, population 153K. Sorry. It is it was named by the founder Joseph Young, who called it Hollywood by the Sea to separate it from his Hollywood in the Hills in New York. So it has nothing to do with Hollywood, California, like you might think. And it's one of the first planned communities. And fittingly, it is the home of Hollywood Brown and also Joe DiMaggio. Well, was Joe DiMaggio.
Jolt and Joe DiMaggio. There you go.
Wouldn't that get really annoying living there, though? You know, where are you from? Hollywood? No, not Hollywood, Hollywood, Florida. Like, you got to explain yourself every time. Like, doesn't that
Every
joke
time.
get, like, super old? I don't know. To me,
That's
it
not
was-
has nothing
no.
to do with the West Coast Hollywood, though, right? Is that what you're saying,
It
Scott?
has
It's-
absolutely nothing to do with it.
There's a
to
Hollywood, New
separate
York
it from-
somewhere.
Yeah, Hollywood in the Hills from New York.
Okay.
Probably in the Catskills. I have no
Yeah. Let's go with that.
idea. So the Jets lost to Miami. Tyrod Taylor was knocked out. Overall, Novak, I have to admit, it was a pretty disgusting game to try and
God, it
watch.
was so bad. I mean, that's on my list of things to talk about. First of all, so I'll start there. How disgusting, and not even just this game, is watching it. I know we've said it before. Met Death is just,
Isn't it?
it is the worst. Like, the seats are gray. It's every time the Jets play, it feels like it's dark and rainy, and it's cold and disgusting. Bad teams, and that place just has no character. It's just the worst. But I mean, as far as the game is concerned, you know, we start out of the gate with 6 minutes left in the first quarter. We're down 21-0. This defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes looks like he has no idea what he's doing. Like they had a shot, like a Salah shot of him after they scored. And honestly, I swear his face was like, "Fuck if I know what to do." Like that, we can't stop him. So it was just that all day. Tyrod Taylor goes out. I don't know. I wasn't glad he went out, but I kind of wanted to see this Brady Cook kid. He's terrible. But then again, all the Jet fans are screaming at how bad he is. I'm like, what do you expect? He didn't even get drafted. He's a free agent
Yeah,
rookie.
what are you looking for?
What are you looking for? You want this guy? Everyone wants Tom Brady. It's not going to happen to us. Just stop it. It's not going to happen to us. Calm down. Nothing's happening here. We don't have a real quarterback. It's not going to happen for us. So stop wishing that we're going to find a diamond in the rough. It doesn't happen for the Jets. It doesn't happen for the Giants either anymore. So no, really disgusting. All the players that I was pumping up last week were dropping balls left and right. They looked like they weren't playing for Glenn. It was just bad. And to top it all off, who gets to do the kneel down at the end of the game? Zach Wilson.
Yes.
Oh,
Gross.
salt in the wound.
Salt in
And
the
no-
wound. It definitely did
So
that.
gross.
And Novak, when it does happen, even so, when we had Tommy DeVito and sort of magic happened for 3 weeks, it just disappears.
Yeah, it's just that these defense have never seen the guy before, and then they watch an hour game film like this would be simple.
So the Giants didn't play, but in the off week they did fire their linebacker coach Brian Cox, former Dolphin, fittingly. I don't know what happened there. They let him go, so I don't know if there was an incident or if they just let him go. But now the Giants are now the number 1 seed in the playoffs or in the draft
Tankathon.
because
Yeah.
the Titans inexplicably won, and the Saints
Good call, Mike.
did the same.
Yeah.
And Cardone and I had the Bucks, I think, is our locks.
I knew someone
this
else.
was
Okay. I knew someone else had the Bucks. Yeah.
I called. You guys all are still going on tonight. You guys all got the clip
That's
That's
right.
true. We do.
as your
For
upset.
our upset. Yeah, we'll see how that pans
Who,
out.
while we're recording, the Clipper up 7-3 in the second quarter.
Well,
Nice.
you guys now having the number 1 pick, I'm curious. Do you just want to lose out? Because I'll tell you what, you've got a trade partner right here that will throw
Yeah.
you probably 3 number 1 draft choices.
I absolutely. I don't care. Like, I think I've mentioned it before. As far as drafting number 1, I couldn't care less almost about that because I don't even know who I would want. It's more attractive to entertain, I think, offers and trade ups and all those things. So, but yeah, I definitely want at this point. Fuck it now. Just lose out, and what's the point? So I'll get into that in my predictions when we do our predictions. But yeah, at this now. But it's so funny. I was thinking about you just mentioned Met Death, Novak. I was gonna mention it at some point because I didn't watch a lot on Sunday. I had a ton of stuff to do. Get the tree, all that kind of Christmas stuff and everything. I know we were supposed to kind of rally together yesterday, and anyway, I missed a lot of action, but I did catch one little part of just flipping over to try to get a highlight of the Jets, and my God, that stadium, it's so true. It's the grossest thing in sports, in all professional sports. I can't.
And
Name a grosser stadium than Met Death? Can't.
Where the Tampa Bay Rays play, I think might be worse. But
Okay,
but think about it. We have 2 of the wealthiest franchises
Yeah.
in all of professional sports sharing a stadium.
Yep.
And we got to watch the Cincinnati Bengals play in like a beautiful outdoor, like it makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yep.
And it won't make. Yeah, it just doesn't. It just. Oh God, it aggravates the hell out of me.
And I have to tell you, we'll probably get into this in our predictions, but Giants probably will not lose out in my mind because of
No.
certain factors out there. But
Well, the thing is, I actually want you to really badly because if you don't lose out, the Raiders are going to jump up to number 1 and they're going to take the quarterback that I want. And so the Jets are out again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wanted the Titans because the Titans would have traded because they're not going to draft a quarterback. The Giants would be fine because they're not going to draft a quarterback. But if the Raiders jump up to 1, which I think they will, we're out again on Mendoza, who's the guy I want. So
Yeah.
it's no luck.
You-
Really don't.
You can't even win at losing.
Can't win it, lose. Exactly. I'm going to have 3 wins, be 1 win shy of the guy
Yeah.
that I think is going to be the next, not great, but I think he'll be a very good quarterback.
You never know. right,
You're
Novak?
right,
I
though,
mean, you
Mike.
guys
You're
have a
right.
lot of draft capital.
We do. We do.
And if the Raiders aren't in love with somebody, they might say, hey, you know what? We'll sign a veteran this year. Give us your 3 number ones and we'll punt.
Yeah.
Or they'll take a kicker.
Yeah. No pun intended on the we'll punt thing. We'll get a punter.
So around the league this week, a lot of stuff going on. So the Jets played brutal game. Giants didn't play, but there was a lot of stuff going on around the league. And actually, there were some good games. There was a lot of storylines to talk about, starting with Pittsburgh and Baltimore. And guys, the Dick got a win there, but Baltimore got an apology from the league today. They also were screwed on a possible touchdown from Isaiah Likely in the end zone that the NFL is bending over backwards to say was not a touchdown because he supposedly didn't make a football move, even though he got 2 feet down, was raising the ball to celebrate and had it knocked out. So the play they're actually apologizing for was a different play. So it's incredible. This league, they can't get out of their own way with the officiating, and getting things right. So I don't know what you guys thought about the Pittsburgh Baltimore game. The Dick gets a win. He's celebrating like a nobody's business. I know they're heated rivals.
What does this do for, aside from the Dick, who just looks like just a jerk off out there, right? I mean, we know, he's just a total jerk running around. Like, he did the fucking championship belt after his, slumbering into the end zone on that one little end around. But, does this raise question? Now, what does Tomlin, like, what does this do for, what does this win do for Tomlin? And if the Steelers go on to somehow, win this division, not to say, I mean, there's still a lot of football left, obviously, but that's what I was thinking about. Because, if as Giant fans, if we have our eye on Tomlin, well, that was a big win for Pittsburgh yesterday in Baltimore. So, what does that do for his, next, month of football with Pittsburgh if they end up going to the playoffs? Because they're in the division. I had the standings in front of me just a moment ago. Because they're in first place right now. So
yeah, they just went ahead of the Ravens. So one's 7-6, the other is
7-6.
6-7.
So they're in first by themselves. Yeah.
But I think the frustration with Tomlin is not necessarily that they lose, it's that they can't get beyond getting into the playoffs and losing in the first round, which is probably what they're going to do again. Yeah. So I don't know that it makes that much of a difference, but I mean, I could be wrong. But that play, can I ask you guys a question? Here was my confusion on that play. So they say 2 feet at a football move. My understanding of that rule is that's in the field of play. In the end zone, why do you need to make a football move in the end zone? Why? What if you were just?
That's a very good point. Excellent point.
But when you're going out of bounds, like if you catch the ball in the end zone, put 2 feet down, but let's say you fall out of bounds, do you need to make a football move then?
No, you don't.
Then why do you need 2 feet in the end zone? Game. I mean, touchdown.
I actually heard somebody defending it this morning on TV by saying if he had gotten that 3rd foot down. I'm like, well, that's literally moving the goalpost. When is it 3 feet down? What the hell is that? 3 feet down.
And as a runner, we all know the minute, the split second that ball breaks the plane, it broke the plane ball, and I know that the ball carrier, whether it's a quarterback sneak or a run, yes, I know the guy already has the ball in his possession. It's not a catch. I understand that part, but it just seems that because how many times do we see a ball come flying out of a guy's hands, a defender swats out of the ball, and he broke the plane, so it doesn't matter what happens after that. The guy doesn't even have the football halfway through his carry, through his run. Yeah,
it's like the tiny tip of the ball crosses the plane, touchdown, and yet you got to make 3 steps. Just like with those size of those guys, that's like 3 yards. What?
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
No, they got to do away with that. If they're seriously thinking about revamping the rules, everything about the end zone being different, you have to survive the ground, all that bullshit has to go away.
And do you
And
know the
we've
definition?
seen, like-
What is a football move? I don't understand that. Honestly,
They purposely don't want you to know what that
is it like a Heisman? Is it a Heisman or something?
You have to do that. You have to be like on the old football cards from the 30s. Do something footballish. Stupid. Get it out.
Surviving the ground
I've
is
had enough.
bullshit too, because if the ball moves an inch, they're like, "Oh, he didn't survive the ground." Well, how if you're landing on the ground, what are the chances that you're completely securing that ball without any movement whatsoever under the guises of instant replay? You can't.
Yeah, you can't. And they just have to make it easier for the officials and even for the replay officials.
Yeah.
If you possess a ball and put 2 feet down on the ground, that is a catch. Now, if someone comes and knocks it away from you, that's a fumble. If come on, just make it so easy. Catch, 1 foot down, the 2nd foot down. Now you're a runner. And if someone hits you and you lose the ball, that's a fumble. In the end zone, however, the play is over. You possess the ball in the end zone, the play is over.
Done.
That's
It's over.
Yep.
There's nothing that can happen after that. You catch it, you get your 2 feet down, the play is over. You have possession in the end zone. It's not hard.
The other game that had a lot of intrigue was Kansas City and Houston. Well, there's a couple more too, but Kansas City now mathematically cannot win the West. They can still get a wild card, but they can't win the West because of where Denver is. And guys, a team that I really don't give a lot of credit to, and I need to now, is Houston.
Yeah.
Houston has
That
come up.
defense is-
Their defense is legit.
Mhm.
Very legit. I was going to bring up a particular player on the Chiefs around about that game, but that was, I did watch a decent amount of that game last night, and yeah, Scott, that Houston defense, I did watch them against Buffalo a couple weeks ago, and was very impressed. But then last night again, the pressure that they had on Mahomes was relentless. Remember, guys, a few years ago, I used to say that I could cover Jason Witten. I just wouldn't be able to tackle him. Like once he could do that little 4-yard hitch. I feel the same way about Travis Kelce.
Yep.
Because Travis Kelce, I've been saying the guy's awesome. We know that, but like for the last couple of years, but when you have the isolation camera on Travis Kelce and you look at him run a fucking 4-yard hitch or whatever, you're like, how is this guy? Like, how can you not cover this guy? Well, let me tell you, the Houston Texans last night, like they have fast linebackers. They were getting pressure. Travis Kelce looked disinterested at certain times because the poor Chiefs are 6-6 last night, but they shut his ass down. Did you guys realize? I mean, he had one catch for 8 yards. I don't even know when it occurred. I think in the first half or something like that. The guy was absolutely taken out of the universe last night because Houston just decided we're not allowing this chop to get open on us with that little bullshit over the middle. First of all, Mahomes was running for his life most of the night anyway. But Travis Kelce, get the hell out of here, man. They shut his ass down.
Did you see that hit he took as well?
Oh,
on
yeah.
the bop.
Yeah.
That was the hit of the year. Only because it was him, and it lined flat on his back. You knew he was fine, but that was the best hit of the year for me.
Rasheed Rice took a hit too. I mean, there was some hitting going on with the Texans. Yeah,
They tackled
Shoulder.
really well.
Yeah,
I mean, they're coached well or something, but they have like textbook tackling, and Collinsworth like gushed about it a couple of times, but it's true. They tackle well. You're right, Cardone. They were draped on every single receiver. Yes, they dropped a lot of balls, but they were on top of them the whole game.
A game like that goes to like sort of prove the point that I used to make when people would talk about Mahomes coming to the Giants and say he would make them instantly better. They'd be a playoff team. And I'd be like, he's on the Giants. He can't do anything behind this offensive line. Look what happens when a team pressures Mahomes. It's really tough for him to succeed.
Yeah, for sure, for anybody. Also tough to win a game when your coach goes for it on 4th down in your own end of the field in a tie game.
By the way,
not to lose.
Why does Andy
right,
Reid not take shit for that?
He has a little bit. He apologized
Have you heard
today.
something?
Yeah,
but he didn't during the game. Collinsworth said not a word.
No, they did.
He's won championships, and he's just look at that's why. Look at the track record of the Chiefs. I agree, Scott, but at the same time, you think Collinsworth is going to say anything, or they're not. He's not.
No.
A tie game at your own 31. Think about that.
On top of the fact, it's the Texans' defense. You're not playing the Giants or the Jets here.
No.
Right.
I mean,
No.
Forget analytics right out the door. Because have you not watched the whole game? They were struggling to get 5 yards.
Yeah.
I like when the four of us are in sync on the text thread. I think that was one where I think like a few of us chimed in simultaneously, like, go for it. Fuck it. like, just
Within
screw
5
it.
seconds.
Yeah, just like yeah, exactly.
That
Going for it on their own 30, playing great. The hell with it. Yeah, just screw it. Yeah.
I mean, you just look at everything about that going for it there. I mean, Kansas City's defense is playing pretty well too. It's not like the Texans were moving up and down the field. In a tie game with that much time left, you just give them free points. It's free points.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you punt it there, the Texans get it probably at the 20.
Yeah. The risk is just certainly not worth the reward there. I mean, you've got a better chance of winning that game of punting it and then forcing the Texans into a 3-and-out, which they had done several times that evening.
Yeah.
And get the ball back, at midfield or just beyond midfield. Insane.
If the Broncos get the Texans in the playoffs, that final might be like 6-3. I mean,
that'll be a good game.
Yeah,
it'll be actually we will enjoy that game.
Yeah.
Right. Great defenses. I think I would really enjoy watching that game. And I never enjoy watching the Texans, but I think I do now. They're fun to watch from a defensive perspective for sure.
They have played and they lost to the Broncos 18-15.
See?
There you go.
And
So another happening this week, Daniel Jones tore his Achilles. He's out for the year. And guys, one of the most unseemly things about all this is now there's people like, well, the Colts weren't going anywhere. The Colts aren't going to do this. And you think about the fact that the Colts were the darlings for the first 7 weeks, and now people are burying them. It's all results based. Like, look, this team is a decent team. This team's gotten a couple bad breaks here. I mean, Daniel Jones was already playing with a broken fibula.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always the same. Think of nearly every team that's won a Super Bowl or gone deep in the playoffs has had a portion of their season where they struggled a little bit. It happens to everyone except for the rarest of rare teams, right? Where you just have the 86 Giants, of course, I'm familiar with the Giants. We came out of the gate slow as shit. I think the Giants were 1-2, right, Cardone, or something like that, or some.
Well, they lost opening night to Dallas on Monday night, but then they had like a stretch there. But the offense was like really bad for in there. It was the defense that they were winning ugly games early in the season.
Yeah. So the Colts were going through a bit of a tough spot there, and Jones was dinged up, and but to just say, oh, they weren't going anywhere anyway, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, Novak has to like this too because the Colts traded for Sauce Gardner.
Yeah,
he's basically been invisible, and now the Colts are probably not making the playoffs or hanging on to a playoff spot.
I mean, they're going to lose out. I really do. I think the Colts are going to lose out, sadly. And I hate it for Daniel Jones, just because he took a lot of crap for a long time, and he's a lot better than people think. However, the biggest knock on him was his lack of availability. And I hate to say it after someone gets an Achilles injury, but he's injury prone. He just is. Yeah. There's some guys that are. He clearly is, and that sucks for him. But yeah, I mean, if they lose out, they're going to drop down to like the 13th, 14th pick. That would give the Jets probably like the 6th and the 13th or something like that. So yeah, I'm rooting for the Colts to lose.
Yeah, I feel bad for Jones because, like you said, he kind of, I hate to use the word resurrected his career, but he made himself visible again, in the NFL in a big way. And I really never pull for guys like even ex-Giants that, it depends. I rarely do that, but he was one guy that there's no question I was rooting for the guy. I felt, he's AFC Colts team. Why not? I could root for that team. It's not a division rival like Barkley. We know about that. And I honestly feel bad for the guy because now his career is going to really take a hit. He came back from an ACL already. He had the broken bone. Now he's got this. Who knows how much he's going to recover and who's going to take it. Yeah, I just feel bad for Daniel Jones, man. This guy, I think he was showing his ability this year. It looked like he really fit into that system with the Colts. And to your point, Scott, I never buy that bullshit. Like, oh well, they weren't going to. they weren't going to win a division or go anywhere. Man, you never know in this league. You just never know. You don't know who's going to make a run.
And it's funny because I'll draw a parallel to that in the next game, which is Tampa Bay, New Orleans. So Tampa Bay is one of those teams people gush over. They talk about them, oh, they're going to go to the postseason, this, that, and the other thing. Talk about Baker Mayfield cooking, baking, whatever you want. Well, they just lost to the Saints, and now the Panthers are in first place in that division. And Baker Mayfield didn't tear his Achilles. He's not out for the year. He's playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Tampa Bay's lost 5 of 7. They don't look very good at all. They were media darlings too. I don't know what's worse: the media giving up on these teams, or that they jumped on them in the first place. I have no idea which.
Yeah.
But doesn't it feel like this is Tampa Bay every year?
Yeah.
Right?
Kinda.
They go through this like they're good in the beginning, and then they have this like weird middle of the season thing, and then at the last game of the season they either have to win and get in, or someone's got to lose and they get in, and they barely win the division at 9-8 and they lose in the first round. I'm like, it's every year with this team. I think it's gonna be the same thing this year. I think they're still gonna win it because I don't think the Panthers can beat them twice. I really don't.
Well,
I could be wrong, but
so I've got the Panthers remaining 4 games right in front of me, Novak, as you were just talking, and they're at New Orleans next week, so a favorable spot there.
Yep.
Yeah. No matter New Orleans just beat Tampa, let's call it a favorable spot. Yeah, and then they have a home and home, with Tampa in twice in 3 weeks. In between there, they got the Seahawks at home, so that's a tough game.
That's a tough
It's in Charlotte at least, but the Seahawks at home, that's gonna be a tough one. So they get the Bucks at home first. So if they can beat them at home, that may create
a lot of
crazy
pressure.
momentum. Yeah, is if they were able to win that. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But if you ask me though, out of those 2 teams, I'll take the Panthers winning the division. Again, I always feel indifferent when it comes to the Carolina Panthers. I always have. But as far as who would I rather win that division? Why not Panthers over the Bucks? Yeah, and I like Baker Mayfield, but I'll take the Panthers. Why not?
Well, it's actually fun living here when they're good, right? There's a little energy about the city, and it's kind of fun, and it's on all the news, and people are into it. So, I want the Panthers. I know Scott hates it, but I actually am rooting for the Panthers. But.
You get fans that don't know anything about the game, gushing about it. That's fine. Yeah, let's go.
It's one of those. If the Panthers were to lose to the Saints next, I wouldn't care. It wouldn't bother my day one bit. I wouldn't. It wouldn't. Nothing would. It'd be like, okay.
Well, during that same stretch that Cardone pointed out for the Panthers, Tampa Bay's got the Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers.
So
they're going to go 3-1.
It's almost like they could afford to lose one of those to the Panthers and still not really get too upset about it.
Well, if you split, if theoretically you split, the Dolphins over the Seahawks, and then you can't assume, but
Falcons are garbage.
Falcons. They should take the Falcons as the Panthers should beat the Saints too. So at least it gives something to watch. There are a lot of division races. They were talking about that over the weekend. As far as a lot of division races are close, and there's a lot of head-to-head stuff in the final week. So sitting here as Giant Jet fans, where we do this every freaking year now, where we just absolutely have nothing. We're not even in the league. I mean, we're not even in the league.
Nah.
But
we should all change our.
I'll tune into division rival games and watch, and just for the freaking sheer excitement of that, if you can call it that.
That week 18 game, Panthers Bucks, I bet you that's the flexed Sunday night game. Win and you're in type thing. How they do that.
They do.
We should all just change our backgrounds right now to the NFL Shield because we're we're done rooting for our teams, man. That's it for them.
So another game that was pretty exciting, I watched a lot of this one, was the Bears-Packers. And I'll tell you this, it might be one of my pet peeves, but it's not. But the Bears did not look great. We talked about the Bears being who we thought they were. Caleb Williams played actually pretty poorly in this game, yet if you listen to the broadcast, you would have thought he was playing fantastic. And then at the end, he throws one of the worst interceptions you're going to see for a team that could either tie the game or win it. And the best they could say after that was, well, the Bears made this a game. The Bears stayed right in it. They didn't say anything about Caleb Williams throwing one of the worst passes you're going to see in a situation where he had a guy open, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the play worked. The guy was open. I don't think Caleb didn't see him. The only thing I thought about that situation was in the same situation against the Giants, Caleb trots in from 32 yards out for a touchdown.
That's right.
Untouched in that situation. But yeah, I did, Scott. I noticed it too. I'm watching Caleb Williams play, and I'm watching him do some boneheaded things and missing open receivers. And the announcers are just, it's like they're watching a different game when they're watching that cat play. And I'm not even saying he's that bad. I don't, he's fine. And I presumably he's just going to get better, but you can wait for him to get better before you crown his ass.
Well, I think the one part that I got a little bit angry with too was that, he wasn't playing that well, and yet they were like, Caleb Williams he's leading this game. He's what do they call
control.
It? He's in control, and at that point he was 1 for 7 for like 5 yards.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you could be in control as a quarterback, or why you would even make that comment at that point.
Other interception by Hurts in real time.
Yeah.
He's another one of those narrative guys, I think, Scott. I don't just because of where he was drafted, I think. He's coming to an organization that desperately has, wants that franchise quarterback in the Chicago Bears, which seems like they've never had, right? You got to go back to like Jim McMahon with the Bears. And so he's another guy that's over elevated by the media, and they will continue to gaslight us as the dumb, football fans that don't know what we just take for we just take everything at face value for what the media is telling us, and they're gaslighting us with this guy. I thought the same thing. I mean, again, I think you said it perfectly. Williams he's fine, or was it Mike? You just said it. I mean, he's the guy. He's not bad. He's very good at times, but he's also still can be poor also. That's okay too. It's okay to say that during, like you said, when you make that throw. I thought the same thing. So Scott, when I saw the highlight, and I'm like, oh, that's a horrific throw, and to win and lose the game, can't make that throw, or you just got to make a better throw. The throw was right. I mean, he just
it was by the way, it was a second down play, so he didn't have to throw that.
Yeah, and just it cost him the game. And there's other quarterbacks that would, I think, around the league that if they made that throw, they would be they'd be butchered by the media, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you go back a week, and the Bears win, and the Bears coach comes out and says, our passing game is not where we want it to be. So the coach of the team is telling the media, Caleb Williams is not playing as well as I would like him to play. The media, blah, la, 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 la. It's like, they're not going to hear it. They're not going to hear it.
So,
by the way, Caleb Williams right now is only on pace for 3,800 yards. So the Bears will continue to not have a 4,000-yard passer.
So
unless he has a big last four.
The second time in 3 weeks, the Raiders are at the center of a controversy at the end of a game when it comes to betting.
Yeah.
So this time the Raiders are down 10, no chance to come back, and with 3 seconds left, they decide to kick a field goal and make it. And what does that do? It covers the spread for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did you see the delay a game penalty right before that?
I did, yes.
I mean,
it's almost like the league was complicit in this, to be honest.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, they're in cahoots on this thing. Like, what? He didn't even lay on him for more than a second, and they called a penalty. Let the clock run out. Why are you calling throwing a flag? I mean,
this is unbelievable.
So they called defensive delay a game. I saw the field goal.
Yeah, so there was a play. They threw the ball down to like the 40, I think it was, or 35. And literally the defender he's there, he makes the tackle.
And he tried to lay on him for an extra second, maybe. Not even.
And the ref throws
the flag. He batted the ball away from the guy. He did do that.
Okay, but there's 3 seconds left. Just let the freaking game be over. What are you doing?
So that stops the clock, and then they tried out the field goal unit.
Yes.
No, actually,
Wow.
Cardone, the clock expired. The kick was an untimed down.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, that's just something's not right there. Are we
Something, it's not right. Something is up.
punting from the 29 and kicking a field goal with 2 seconds left, down 10?
Yeah.
I've never seen that, and we saw it in back-to-back weeks.
Never seen it. Back-to-back weeks involving the same team. Yeah.
Do you guys remember the show?
By the way, they're in Vegas. Just saying.
Yeah, just having a. Do you guys remember the show on HBO back in the day, First and 10?
Yes.
LT was actually on it, I think.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Janessa.
So that show had an episode in it where this super hot girl was dating the coach, and she had no money, and she kind of was and she said she told the coach, "I'm going to take all my money and bet it on you guys to cover," because they were supposed to win huge. Well, the game was close the whole way, but they're going to win, and the clock's winding down, and the coach just says, "Shit," and he takes a timeout and kicks a field goal, and everyone's like booing and throwing, like boo, because they're on the road, and so he gets home, and of course she's gone. So I wonder if that happened to the Raiders coach. I wonder if he had a super hot girlfriend who was betting on the game.
Did Belichick start to coach them instead of?
No.
So the other thing that happened today is JPP signed with the Buccaneers to come back, and Phillip Rivers has a workout with the Colts because we know that Daniel Jones is hurt, and now Riley Leonard has a knee injury, and Anthony Richardson has been out. So is this 2019?
Are they bringing back Jeff George? Where are they stopping?
Oh, my God.
What's happening?
George. Bobby A. Bear, spelled Herbert. Bringing him back. Herbert A. Bear.
I bet you Luck could probably play, actually.
Probably could. What about Burt Jones? Let's go all the way back to the 70s.
Jeez.
I thought you were kidding when I saw that. Or I said, surely he doesn't mean Phillip Rivers.
Nope, it's Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, he hears all the people.
Old.
He hears all the people. He's like Joe Flacco did it, right? So he
Yeah,
hears all the people questioning his Hall of Fame candidacy. So he's like, I'll go out, get on a good team, remind everybody how good I am.
I actually am hoping he gets the job because it might help Eli Manning because it'll remove him from consideration for the Hall
Kick
of Fame.
him down the road. Yeah. They should at least put him on a roster. All they have to do is put him on the roster, right? He doesn't have to play.
That would be a good question. Like, if you're in the Hall of Fame and you go back, I guess you stay in the Hall of Fame. But if you're not in the Hall of Fame yet, does your candidacy have to wait another 5 years or 4 years after you retire?
It'd be great if a Hall of Fame guy comes out, plays like really shitty for and then you take his jacket away.
He gets caught in a prop bet scam.
So, Mike, I'll turn it over to you for predictions.
Exciting things happening here. You guys are going to have to bear with me because we have incomplete stats because everyone except for me knows the Clip who are playing right now.
Because the Clip are playing right now.
Yeah. So I'll give you the updated numbers, and because they're very favorable to me. So, if I'm being honest. So we'll start with Cardone. Yep. Cardone had taken Miami, but his lock he took Tampa Bay. So that makes him 1-2 right now, and he's begging for the Clip for an upset to get him ahead. Koss took the Jets and Tampa Bay, so he's 0-2. So he has to have the Clip, or he's going to go down the chute, man. It's going to be 0-5. All right, I took Miami. My lock was Denver, and I already booked my upset. So I'm 5-0. I got 5 points this week.
Don't forget the if you lose the underdog, you don't get the -2.
Doesn't hurt you, correct? Yeah,
that's right.
Wait,
who was your underdog, Mike?
My underdog was the Tennessee Titans.
Was Titans? Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good job, Mike.
Which was if you had told me beforehand what Shedeur Sanders' stat line would have looked like in that game, I'd have said, never mind.
Yeah.
Because he played a good game. And then Novak had the Jets and Tampa Bay. So like costs, he's 0-3, hoping for a +2 out of the clip tonight. So here's where that leaves us. Mike pole vaulting into second place at the moment, which could very well change if the clip win. But at the moment we're making the picks, Mike pole vaults into second place with a winning percentage of 750, still shy of Cardone, 800 at 40-10. And then Cost at 37-13 is a 740, and Novak is a 36-16, 692. So we'll kick it off with Cardone.
All right. It's funny. It used to be when the Giants had a bye week. I used to be like, it was one of those like, well, now what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Like it was. I got to go 2 weeks without the Giants playing. I wanted to make mention the Giants not playing this weekend with a bye week. It was glorious. Like just not having to watch that team, just really getting a break from this bullshit. All of it. It was just. I got stuff done around the house. I just got stuff done. I didn't have to worry. I didn't have to sit down and worry about watching this decrepit team. So, but now we have to go back to predictions. We got 4 more games to watch of this team. It's crazy how the turn of events where I used to hate the bye because it was depressing, and now I'm like it's depressing having to watch this team next week and pick who I think is going to win. This game, I am going with remember the Colt game last year where we somehow inexplicably scored 45 and hung, on Indianapolis, and I think we were in number 1 spot for Tankathon for like about 10 minutes, and right now we just slipped in. Same exact thing's going to happen here, guys. I'm not saying they're going to do 45 points, but the Giants are going to sneak in a win against this Commander team, who I don't know if you saw that game yesterday. Holy Christ, they looked decrepit. I mean, wow, this
Didn't they get shut out?
Washington looked bad. Yeah, 31 dick by Minnesota.
Vikings.
Yeah. So the Giants are stupidly at Met Death going to come up with a win and beat Washington 20-16. Kind of a gross game, a couple turnovers here and there, but the Giants are going to squeak by. They're going to screw themselves and win this game. And the Jets going down to Jacksonville. Jacksonville, man, they got everything riding right now to they're trying to win a division. They win by 2 touchdowns. I got Jacksonville 30-16. And of course I lost my lock with Tampa, so everything resets. I looked at the schedule. There was a couple of different games I wanted to go with. Give me the Eagles against the hapless Raiders at home. So Eagles will be my lock. So I got the Giants, the Jags, Eagles are the lock.
Got it. All right, I'll go since I am momentarily in second place. I agree with Cardone. I think we're going to see the same thing happen this year that happened last year. We're gonna move into first place in Tankathon, and we're going to win a game. This game, I think, though, I think I'd pick the Giants to win this game, even if it weren't to mess up the tank. The Redskins are a shambles. They're a mess. And I know the Giants are too, but the Giants are at home. And, if you look at offense versus defense and matchup, we're just better at almost everything right now than they do. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants. And I'm going to go break out the Gray Goose, guys. I'm going to go 30-13 Giants.
Wow.
And then, so that's just so I can next week go, what the fuck was I thinking, right? That's exactly how that's going to go. Jets and Jaguars, yeah, I think I think that I'm going to stay with Cardone on this. I think the Jaguars win this pretty big, too. At Jacksonville, there's something I still like about this Jets team, but Jacksonville's playing pretty well at the moment. All of a sudden, you close your eyes for a second and open them and look, and Jacksonville's 9-4. Where the hell did that come from? So I'm going to say Jacksonville 28-10 over our Jets. And then my lock, who I actually had to go back and make sure now, and because I wanted to take the Eagles, but I've already taken the Eagles in this run. So I'm going to I'm going to change my lock to the Houston Texans over the Cardinals. And we're on cost.
So I agree completely with Cardone on this. So Giants, look, I watched that game, a lot of the game, Washington, Miami, and they looked horrible. Or not Miami,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Sorry.
Not only did Ertz get hurt, Daniels got hurt again. Neither of them will probably play against the Giants. This team is decrepit right now. So I think the Giants are going to win this game in a Grey Goose, 28-10. And then when I look at the Jaguars and Jets, I might have picked the Jets had Tyrod not get hurt. Tyrod's probably not coming back. He's got a groin. You don't come back from a groin in a week usually. So with him being out, I see Jacksonville probably just running the ball with ETN, getting some scores there and holding the Jets down. And I think this game's going to be a very ugly game to watch, 20-3, Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
And then much like Cardone, I have the Eagles as my lock.
All right, so we're not going to be moving up and down like we did this week because I'm agreeing with mostly everything here. I think the Commanders are just a spiraling team at this point. Giants have a week off to prepare, which I think is huge. I think the Giants come out and roll them. I have them 30-7. So yeah, I think this is a Grey Goose game for you guys. Jets and Jags. So I have two takes on this. One, I think the easy thing to do, and I think that's what I'm going to do because I don't want to fall so far behind, is to just assume that they're one team going one direction, one going the other. It's a blowout spot. I got the Jags 31-10. However, one thing I do want to say, and this is not my prediction, there's something about a traditionally bad team that has a big win that starts thinking too much of themselves, which I think the Jags could be in that spot. They've got this shitty Jets team coming into town. I could see the Jets upsetting them, believe it or not. But I'm not going to pick it. But I just want to state that there's something about a traditionally bad team that all of a sudden starts to think they're the shit, and then they come out and they lay an egg the next week. So just putting that out there. My lock, though, I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to say, I don't even know who they're playing. I just wrote it down. I'm going to take the 49ers. Are they playing the Titans, maybe?
Titans.
They are playing the Titans, yep.
Yeah, Titans don't win 2 in a row.
Hard to imagine. Novak, I didn't get your score for the Jets Jacksonville because I thought you were changing
31-10 Jags.
By the way, there's a number of double-digit spreads next week. I just scrolling up and down.
Really bad.
Yeah, it wasn't hard to find a lock.
Yeah, this time of the season, you're going to start seeing that a little bit, but teams have nothing to play for. Guys are in, you got quarterbacks that are missing, that kind of stuff. So it's funny. I was looking at obviously with Daniel Jones going out, Seahawks over the Colts, 13.5. The Seahawks are given. Yeah.
Well, it's because Phillip Rivers might be the quarterback.
I just thought that was still a crazy amount, but yeah.
There's 8 teams with double-digit losses, and we still have 4 weeks left.
Yeah.
I know.
That's crazy.
It is.
Everyone's kind of getting on like the Bears and the Patriots and these other teams, and like they're not as good as their record. They're not as good as their record. Who have they beaten? I look at this and I look at the rest of the league and I go, the rest of the league sucks, guys. That's why these guys have the record.
Yeah.
The rest of the league
You know what's crazy, and I don't want to make a parallel to hockey here, but in the Eastern Conference of hockey, there's exactly one team under 500.
I know.
The Buffalo Sabres. It's in an entire conference.
Yeah. Well, with those stupid overtime, non-losses, no one's under 500. It's insane. Yeah. It's
crazy.
It's stupid. Yeah.
I actually like that better, though. I mean, I do, just because there's so many bad teams and bad games and just blowouts.
Yeah.
And how many shutouts have we seen in the last few weeks? Like, that never happens. It's just they're boring and stupid and Spiro Ditas games left and right. Like, it's just the worst.
Spiro Ditas and Adam Archuleta.
God,
guys, it might be a good week to go out, right? Because we got Giants and Jets both at 1, and then did I lose it? No, we don't have Salah. Salah's,
Salah plays at 4, I
but
think, right?
but Bills Patriots is on at 1.
All right.
That's
That's
a
a
good one. It's a good game.
yeah. That's all we got. Thanks everybody. Good luck.
All right. So pet peeves. I'll start with Novak.
All right, I've got a potpourri, short ones. Where are they? Okay, so I'm going to start with not a lot of football ones. I got to get it off my chest. I had to deal with Christmas lights this weekend. I hate Christmas lights more than anything. I get so angry. I'm Griswold. I throw things. My anger is off the charts with this stuff. How can they still? We landed on the moon in 1969, and we can't have a string of lights that works a second year in a row. I don't understand. I pull it out of the box, and half of it's out. I want to, whatever. I can't take that. Another one is going to be, and this is a personal one. I use LinkedIn a fair amount for my industry and job and whatnot. And that's supposed to be a business social media site. And there's people on there posting about like their family and having snuggles with their kids and stuff. And I get out of here, go somewhere else. I don't need this. Like, we talk about recreational space. That's business. That is serious. That is like work stuff. Don't talk about your friggin' kids on LinkedIn. So that's it. I had to do that. We are getting big enough as a pod that I'm getting requests for pet peeves from people to announce because they got to get it off their chest. So I got a friend, Aaron, who listens to our podcast religiously. He said, can you please say that I can't take watching another game when all they use is the word physicality? Because it doesn't mean much of anything. And
Aaron,
it's a great one. Great one.
He's like, and they say it in every single game. It means nothing. And he's like, I got to get it out. So please get that out for me. So that was his. And then finally, my last one is going to be Notre Dame. Shut up. Stop complaining. Join a conference. You're not that great. I hate Notre Dame. I'm so glad they got left out. They probably deserve to be in comparison. But how about play someone instead of Stanford, Syracuse, Navy, Boston College? Join a conference, win the conference, get in, stop complaining.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah, you gotta
Join
love
a
it.
conference. Yeah.
Notre Dame with this crying, it's unbelievable.
And they're angry at the ACC because they're like, well, we are with the ACC for 26 other sports. Oh, great, you got women's soccer, and so you got it. How about football? The one that's going to make the ACC millions upon millions of dollars. That's why they're pissed off you're not part of the ACC. They have every right to talk crap about you.
And they might say, well, we'd win the ACC. Well, you lost to Miami.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think I vote my Notre Dame. The thing that gets me about them complaining so much is like 999 straight times, these calls by the league or by an umpire or an official or whatever go their way. One time something doesn't go their way.
Exactly.
They become a baby
Big
and a
baby.
Oh my God, you're so right about that.
What do you think about Duke when there's a foul call against them?
Oh.
So I'll go next with pet peeves, and because it ties into this. It's the inconsistencies in sports. So it could be the inconsistencies in refereeing. Tony Dungy made a great call the other day. He talked about the pass interference call, if you saw it, where they called offensive pass interference in the Dallas game on Jake Ferguson. And in that game where they called that, he said, if you took every crew that was out there, let's say there's 16 crews, 10 crews are going to call that defensive pass interference, 5 crews are going to call that a no call, and one crew is going to call it offensive pass interference. And they called it offensive pass interference. But it's not so much that it was offensive pass interference, other than it was the inconsistency that we don't have a set of rules for a lot of these penalties. These penalties are so subjective, and that's almost why I want to go to the rule on pass interference of the college where it's 15 yards, because we can't decide what's right and what's wrong, and yet we're deciding games on this. That's just one inconsistency. The other one, to Novak's point, is the college football playoff. I mean, look, Alabama jumped up a spot, literally went up a spot after getting destroyed in their conference game.
Made no sense.
And they have 3 losses. So as much as I hate Notre Dame, which I didn't think should be in there, now we have teams like JMU in and Tulane and Alabama is there, and Notre Dame's left out. I don't think this came down to Notre Dame versus Miami. It should have been Alabama versus someone who didn't have 3 losses. And Alabama, yet again, stayed in there. And I think the committee has a tough task of trying to explain how 5 SEC teams got in while other teams were left out. And so it goes to me just it's that non-standardization when you have rules that results in what looks like bias.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened here.
You know, it's funny, like, I think we talked about this with the, we waited forever for the college football playoff system, the format, and now that it's here, we're still just bitching about who's snubbed, what seed, who's getting the bye, all that stuff. It's like, because we know this stuff's, we know we ran this stuff, it would be flawless and perfect. That's, so of course it would. So to Scott's point, yeah, the inconsistencies, it's maddening, man. It's maddening in all in as far as officiating, we know. But even the selection committee for this stuff, we'll do it. We'll do it again in March Madness. Same kind of system. But I wanted to make a note before I just wrote it down. So, when was the last time? And I don't know the answer to this, but where Ohio State and Alabama both lost on the same day? Like,
it's true. I didn't even think of that.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about that, because it was beautiful. Because I'm not a fan of either.
No.
So to see both those teams go down, especially Ohio State to Indiana, that was just awesome.
That was
now Cardone,
amazing.
I have to say one thing. Maybe the magic number is 64, 68, whatever it is for the basketball, because I mean, we still debate whether a team should make it or not, but it's always like, well, you're the 68th team.
68th best team in the country,
In college football, when it's 12 or 16 or whatever it will end up being, it's still a little bit more. Yeah. I think there's still a little bit more there that happens, because a team like JMU, who maybe might not deserve it, Tulane might not deserve it, BYU might not have deserved it, but they're part of the equation.
Yeah. When people are dragging it down, they've got to say, do you actually want the 12 best teams, or do you want to set up a potential for an upset? Do you want to reward these smaller conference teams or not? And I don't care personally. I think having Notre Dame and Alabama and BYU or whoever in these playoffs would make it a better playoff. I think these small schools are going to get absolutely rolled.
They are.
But you just have to make a decision on what you want to do. If you want JMU in the playoffs, then the media and the coaches control it. Just rank them higher.
Yeah.
Like what
it'd be fun if there was a football version of the NIT.
A little NIT.
Yeah. Well, actually, that wouldn't be no joke. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I mean, Cardone and I root for App State, right? They somehow got to a bowl at 5-7. It's a long story, but I root for ECU. Yeah. I mean, they made it to the military. It's a big deal. Like,
it is.
To go to a bowl game for a mid-tier school is a big deal for whatever reason. They don't view it as an exhibition. But what bothers me is, and the reason that Notre Dame was my pet peeve is because A, they complain and bitch about it, and B, they're too good to go to the Gator Bowl or something. Get over yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Like, you're losing college football money by not going to the game, and
no, but right. So as an App State fan, right? I'm a fan of the Sun Belt, right? It's sort of like that small college, kind of same concept, Novak, right? So I'll be I'm happy to see JMU in the playoffs. They're now. Do I give them a chance against Oregon? No, but can they make it a game? I think they can. I think they can hang around. But yeah, App State, for all you App State fans out there, their history in the bowl, they're 7-1 in bowl games all time. So just the fact that they have a chance to add to that is, it's something to kind of point to as a successful program. Like
Absolutely.
I know they had a pretty horrible season this year, but to sneak in, I'll take it. It's gross, but I'll take a bowl game.
Something to watch at 11 o'clock on a Saturday. Like, sure,
Exactly.
I'll watch it.
I think it's in the middle of the day on a Monday. That
Yeah,
Monday
something,
after
something, some
the
weird
29th, the
thing.
Birmingham Bowl.
Seven teams passed.
Yeah.
Until they got to them.
Yeah,
Hey, think
there'll be a
about
crowd
this,
of like, there'll be like 800 people in the stands.
Exactly.
The Pinstripe Bowl this year is going to be Clemson versus Penn State.
Penn State.
Well, of
Yeah.
course, Notre Dame turned down a bowl, as did a number of other teams.
Yeah, well, no one's going to play in that Clemson-Penn State game because half of them are going to transfer or go to the NFL. You're going to have like guys, in a dorm and be knocking on their door one night. Hey, you want to come play the bowl game?
Yeah. There were people who argued about the playoffs and said you're going to kill the other bowls. And I agreed with that, but I didn't care because I wanted the playoff. But that has come true.
Yeah.
The other bowls are dead. No one plays in them. Nobody cares about them. This is going to be the way it is. The rest of the top 25, more years than not, if they don't make the playoff, they are going to opt out of bowls.
Yep. Mike.
Yeah, I got two really quick pet peeves, so I'll say them both. And I the one thing I heard a bunch of talk over the week about what running backs have a chance to get to 1,000 yards this year, right? Guys, 1,000 yards means dick in the NFL. It actually always has. It's the one thing that people never talked about. 1,000 yards in a 16-game season is 63 yards a game. It's not that big a deal. Now we play 17 games. It's 59 yards a game now. We're under 60 yards a game. Why are we still talking about 1,000-yard rushers and 1,000-yard receivers? It needs to stop.
It's true. I never thought of it that way.
Completely needs to stop. Really, the last time the 1,000-yard rusher thing was really a deal was when they played 14 games. That's really 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard. Who cares?
Yeah.
And I love the fact that the Bears, since Caleb Williams has been there, the Bears have had an extra game, and they still can't get a 4,000-yard passer, which, by the way, means less now for the same reason that this means less. This isn't really a pet peeve. This is more a confirmation of past pet peeves for us. And I'm glad it didn't get mentioned when we were going around the league and stuff like that. It's because this game was, seems like 2 months ago. The Detroit Lions, for some reason, went out and played a game where they decided they were going to play a straight-up football game against the Dallas Cowboys. They, for some reason, decided we're going to punt, we're going to kick field goals, and we're going to play this game. I don't care what the score says. The score only said 14 points. They dominated the Dallas Cowboys. And they did it because they punted them back. They took points that were available to them. It was a masterclass. And who would have thought that the Detroit Lions would be the team to do it? Because we all saw what Andy Reid did, just still not getting it as far as that goes. But tip of the cap to Dan Campbell. I hope that wasn't some experiment. The Lions are a better team if they play regular football. Mm-hmm. They just are. They're talented enough to not gimmick you to death. They don't need to go on 4th and 2 from the 50. They're talented enough on both sides of the ball where they could square up and play football with anybody. And in the playoffs, when one of those mistakes can cost you your season, it's one thing to cost you a game. In the playoffs, it costs your season. And we all saw what Dan Campbell caused his team to, arguably the favorite to not just go to win the Super Bowl that year, knocked out because of his knucklehead coaching style. So I'll keep an eye on this going forward. I'll report back, but seems like somebody got to him.
Well, Mike, isn't that just as damning to Campbell and the fact that they have lost because of his blunders and they keep losing because of his blunders, and finally they won and he didn't do shit?
Yeah.
Well,
no, I think it is. And that's why I think he's probably going to go back to his old ways, because if all of a sudden Detroit stops going for it on 4th down and starts kicking field goals and all that, people are going to notice. And it's almost at that point, it would be like Campbell admitting that was dumb. My first 3 years as NFL, as head coach of this team was dumb. But we'll see.
Would be great if they did go on and win. If you're like, well, I don't have that idiot Ben Johnson anymore, so that's why I'm not going for it.
I mean, would that be a punch in the gut to analytics if Dan Campbell came out and said, "Look, I tried it both ways. There's a reason that coaches coached the old way before." That would be. I mean, announcers would be like, "No, don't listen to." Don't listen to what he said.
Nothing to see here. He didn't say anything. Everyone's going on
the whole
down.
idea.
Yeah, just totally tearing down the whole idea of analytics and that little, when it comes up, it says, let's see what analytics says. And it's the green go. They don't even have a red no. They don't have one. They've never used it. They don't have it. They just know whenever they put it up there, it's go.
Cardone, pet peeve?
So my peeve happens to come out of the same game. It's around one particular play that occurred in the Cowboy-Lion game, going all the way back to Thursday night. And as Mike mentioned, the Lions dominated the Cowboys. They would have won by an additional 2 points had this one play stood early on in the game in the first quarter. Let me remind our listeners, for you guys, Dallas's second possession in a 3-3 game. Dak Prescott drops back, clearly gets sacked completely in the end zone. They make the appropriate call. The referee looks over. The guy comes down the line, calls it a safety. What happens? We go to replay assist, whatever, the whole bullshit. And then they gaslight us and tell us that, oh no, part of the ball was actually across the plane into the field of play, so it was not a safety. Bullshit. Because I don't know if you guys, this is another one of those things that I've noticed over the years. For whatever reason, that particular play, whenever it's a safety, the guy has to be tackled 3 yards deep in the end zone. It's kind of like the equivalent of a receiver having 3 feet down. The guy needs to be tackled 3 yards into the end zone before they're willing to put up the safety sign and then give us the safety rules on top of that. I was looking forward, and because it was a 3-3 game, I couldn't wait to get to the 5-3 baseball score, and I was dying to hear who hit a 2-run homer when the score was posted. So that was taken away. So not only was I disappointed that I'm rooting for Dallas to lose anyway, so I wanted the 2 points. I wanted everything for this safety to happen. It became my peeve because have you guys noticed that? Like in the past, watch that. It could be a running back. It could be a quarterback who's sacked. For whatever reason, they love not calling the safety there. I don't know why. And that was one where there's no way that ball is across the line. There's no part of that ball, or I'm sorry, at that point, it's the opposite of a touchdown, right? Because the entire ball has to be like over the green, if you will, green part of the field. And there's no way that was anywhere, that it was not a safety. They called it, and it doesn't matter. In the end, it didn't matter. Detroit went on to win by 2 touchdowns, but that is just a pet peeve, guys, of mine, where for whatever reason, the next time you see that happen, because it'll happen again, and they almost always, 9.5 out of 10 times, they're calling that down at the 1 or inside. And the other thing, furthermore, Varnick, when they spot the ball, well, how is it even at the half-yard line? Shouldn't that ball be absolutely one blade of grass from the goal line? It's always like at the half-yard line. Well, where did that extra fucking foot and a half come from when they spot the ball? It's just
they couldn't spot it where it belonged.
6 inches and 12 inches.
Right, because it would spot it on the plane.
They would put it in the end zone.
They put it in the end zone. It drives me crazy. It's the little things in this. I don't know why that one is never called a safety. Pet peeve, drives me crazy.
This end zone is like a mind fuck to the NFL. They don't know what to do with this thing.
They don't.
From fumbles to intentional groundings to safeties, pylons, lines, football moves. They don't know what's going on in that end zone.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like there's 1,000 rules around this friggin' end zone.
It's so true. It's so true.
Cardone, I always thought that about that with the safety too, because like if you look at it, it's the opposite. You can't get it out. You have to have it in.
Yep.
And yet it's fully in for a while.
Yeah. No, that was one where, again, try to watch it objectively. When they showed the replay, and that's one where we were talking about the goal line, the goal post, and how we don't have a camera on that, to get a clear. There's a camera like right down the line, and then when they gaslit us by saying, well, this is the view that New York saw. And if you notice, it actually was a slightly different camera angle than what we saw like on the broadcast. And then looking at what New York's vantage point, they showed me the same damn thing. Like the ball
looked worse.
It was actually worse, Mike. You're right. I'm like, well, exactly. The ball's further in the end zone, so don't try to. It's just, I don't know, man. Replay assist now needs assistance because there was a couple plays over the weekend. What was it? Was it the Chief game? I saw replay assistance was incorrect now. We were texting about that one.
Wrong, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember what the play was. If you guys can remember, I think it might have been last night's game. I don't remember, but replay is now wrong.
Maybe something's going on in his headset where they're like, "We got a $7 million on a safety taking place in this game. Find a way to get out of this friggin' thing."
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. Over under on a safety in that game. Yeah.
Right.
You don't know. They almost never.
That's a sad thing. We're always going to think that now. Like that is now a factor.
We're
in
ruined.
our heads. We're ruined, right?
We're ruined. I'm ruined.
Calls that we've never heard these rules before. I'm now first thing to go into my mind is, all right, what's the prop bets? What's the lines? What's this?
Exactly.
What's going on? And that's another example of it.
So true.
All right, we got several questions this week. First is from my friend Mike. He asks, are we expecting to see at least one Giant to be injured after the bye when it comes on? And we've seen this happen before.
Well, I didn't get that, Scott.
Are we expecting to see an injury? What was it?
Like a guy show up on the injury report that wasn't there before or after the bye.
Just coming out of the bye, you mean? Like have a new entrant on the injury report?
Yeah, phantom injury.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why
I
not?
definitely see that.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be like a Theo Johnson or something. Like Theo Johnson
Yeah.
will just mysteriously show up doubtful. He'll be doubtful.
Yeah. Cut his toe in the lawnmower during the bye week.
Yeah. I like the question. This
Yeah.
is true. You have
It's
a bye
happened.
week, and guys just mysteriously show up on the injury report. I could see it.
Scott is off camera. Should we go to the backup question we talked about?
Should we make up questions?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
we do.
make up questions.
Well, I had that question that I was going to save for when we didn't have questions, so let's throw it out there now. Question that someone asked me was, what are the 3 toughest losses of your Giant and Jet career? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you want to go first, Novak?
Yeah,
Yep.
since I knew about it, so I thought about it.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to do them in 3 to 1. So 1 being the worst loss I've ever had. Number 3 was the 1998 championship game, Jets Broncos. I thought for the first time that they had a legitimate chance to go to the Super Bowl as an adult, but I'll get into my number 1 in a minute. My number 2 was the 86 Jets Browns divisional game where the Jets were up 20-10 with about, 5 minutes left. And due to a Mark Gastineau roughing the passer call, the Browns came back, tied the game, went into double overtime, and Mark Mosley kicked a straight-on field goal kicker, 30-yarder to beat us 23-20, sending us home, and we were very good that year. We should have gone on to win the Super Bowl that year. But for me, the hardest game of my life, and it was 42 years ago, 43 years ago, was the 1982 Mud Bowl, Jets Dolphins, the A.J. Dewey game.
AJ Dewey, yeah.
Which was the day in which I realized I was in a world of hurt with this team. I cried my eyes out as an 11-year-old kid. Thought that we were the better team, should have gone to the Super Bowl, and the Dolphins, Don Shula, screwed us by not tarping the field the night before, slowing us down, and we lost that game 14-0. So that was my hardest one.
Yeah.
Ever.
I distinctly remember both those. I can remember a lot of playoff games, even like non-Giant games too. And I distinctly remember the A.J. Dewey one, even more than the 86 loss to Cleveland, who then subsequently lost, of course, to Denver.
Drive.
And that was the drive.
Yep.
So Cleveland had a wild postseason in 86.
Yep.
Yeah. But I had fantasies of Giants-Jets in 86, right?
Yep.
Was that the year, though, the Jets lost 5?
They went 10-1 and
10-1 and
last
then
5 games,
and then beat
Kansas City,
Indianapolis, or no? Was it Kansas? It was Kansas
City in round 1, and they got the Browns.
They demolished them, I think, too, didn't they, or something?
Crushed
like
them.
Wasn't like 40-0 or something? Yeah,
something crazy like that. Yeah, they crushed Kansas City.
And then
who was the announcer who predicted that correctly? Novak. I'm sure you remember when the Jets were 10-1.
Oh,
he said the Jets will lose the rest of their games.
Yeah,
that's right.
Someone did
my
do
God.
that.
Was it like Trumpy? Jimmy the Greek or something? Or was it an announcer?
Was it?
I don't know.
You're right. Someone did.
I remember because
it was Paul McGuire.
Paul McGuire, the punter from the Bills.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's who that was.
I remember him making that prediction. I said, this guy's full of crap. And then they did. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, I think for Cardone and I, it's probably like there's 10 in a hat, and you just reach in and pull out like any 3, and they'll be brutal. But Cardone, you go ahead and
you want me to go? Okay.
Give us yours. Yep.
Yeah. So mine are again. I'll go like third worst to worst, I guess, in that order. And third worst, believe it or not, it's the most recent of the 3 of mine. The Deshaun Jackson punt return in 2010 at MetDeath, because the Giants, if they had hung up, that again, they were up 31-10, I believe, in the fourth, like midway through the fourth quarter, and that's when Mike Vick started going wild and inexplicably lost, not even in overtime, in regulation, and cost us not only the division, cost us a playoff spot. That was just a devastating worst regular season loss ever. Second one, I'm going back a lot further. 1989, division round loss at home to the Los Angeles Rams. The smirky Jim Everett, Los Angeles Rams. That was the overtime game. I think it was a 19-30. It was a low-scoring game. It was in the teens, but the Giants had a really good team in '89. They would have ran up against the Niners, who were, a dynasty, the second part of their dynasty. So who knows what would have happened? But that was the horrific pass interference call in overtime on Sheldon White. I still remember Sheldon White, number 39, would have made it 3rd and 10 for LA. Which 3rd and 10 you used to get off the field back in 1989, not like it is today. And they the next play. So we were still, barking at the official on the PI. And then the next play, Everett hits Flipper Anderson, who goes into the tunnel, season over, drive home. So that was devastating walking out of the stadium. And then the number one all time, another playoff game, the 2002 wild card game. We've talked a lot about that one. The blown 38-14 at San Francisco, 2002, the Terrell Owens, Jeff Garcia game where we gave up about 13 2-point conversions for them to come back and tie it. That was the one where Scott thought they were going to do a do-over on Monday, bring the teams back over because they
were sure of it.
Yeah, right. Seibert, our offensive lineman, was actually dragged down for we got an apology from the league on Monday, or it was Sunday night, whatever it was, or something like that. But that was the 39-38 loss, and who knows? The Giants were rolling at the end of 2002. We would have faced Tampa Bay, I believe it was, who ended up winning the Super Bowl that year. But who knows? You never know what's going to who knows? So that was the game I went. I've talked about it many times in the pod. I lost vision on the way home. We're at our friend's house. Scott and I watched that game together. That's where the Angry Giant fans moniker was actually born, because we were barking and screaming the whole game. Our friends of ours had a Christmas party and this and that. We used to go there and they were like, "Oh, you guys are the Angry Giant fans from the living room, right?" Because they had a big house, multiple different Sunday tickets going on, different fan bases in different rooms, that kind of thing. And so on the way home, that's where I had to pull over because I couldn't see for about 20 minutes. So that's my order of 3 worst losses.
I personally know that game is a Cardone blind game.
That's it. Completely lost vision. Couldn't see.
I'll tell you, there's. I want to say, Cardone, you might know the year, because I think it was it was the year we lost to Denny Green in Minnesota when Denny Green did not punt down 2 scores, or
97.
he did punt.
It was
97.
97.
He punted down 2 scores.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
97. We had a good team. Yep. And that was the one Chris Callaway couldn't recover an onside kick.
Yep. Missed an onside kick. That one was brutal for me. And that team probably wasn't going anywhere, but that was just a hard way to lose a game. I mean, the Giants were killing that team physically, all over the field. And Denny Green punts with like 4.5 minutes left, down 2 scores. And I remember Cost and I were on the phone, and not the cell phone back then. We were like on the kitchen phone with the yellow phone with the cord. And we're like, did he just quit? Denny Green just quit. He just punted with 4.5 minutes left. He quit. And no, he did not quit. Matter of fact, he must have known exactly what he was doing, because they came back to win the game.
Another game I was at, of course, and couldn't believe walking out of that stadium. I've done that too many times, man. Walking out of the stadium, just absolutely just beyond dumbfounded. That was another one.
Now that I'm back, I know exactly what Mike was talking about. He's talking about the game with the Denny Green Vikings in the playoffs, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Although I want to add that those are my hardest loss as a sports fan. Actually was not a Jet game, believe it or not. It was Game 6, 94, John Stark's game against the Houston Rockets when they lost and could have won the championship. I still have not gotten over that. That was the hardest loss of my professional sporting fandom.
That was brutal.
It's rough.
So since I ghosted for a few minutes, did you get the first question about who is expecting?
No, we didn't. We didn't get your text in time, so I threw out the toughest 3 losses question that I said that we back pocket.
No questions done?
No, so you can go to your others.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's one here. All of us, Cardone cannot bind here. How are we doing in fantasy leagues? Are we playing for fun or for money? So I will say this: I'm in 6 leagues. I'm making the playoffs at 4, and they're all for money, not for fun. And I've been doing pretty well. I actually like it. I'm in first place in a ton, and I probably will end up not being in first place because I have some key injuries coming up. But
yeah, and in our league, which Scott runs, he is historically terrible. and I always blame it on, because on draft day he's got like a billion things going on. He needs someone to help him out with the draft.
Well, and a billion beers too, but I mean.
Yeah, but he is in first place this year and cruising into the playoffs. Novak and I, also in that league, we are actually playing this week for the Toilet Bowl.
We are
to see which team will be the worst in the.
And as of right now, since this is the last week, Mike is beating me 90-81. So unless Omarion Hampton gets another 9 points, I will end up in last place for the first time in 26 years in that league.
It'll be my first time too, I believe, if that happens. There might have been one other. Yeah. But no, I'm in 3 others. There's one of them I only have 1 win. I've never experienced anything like that before, but everyone I had got hurt. I'm like 1 in 13. Crushed again this week. You know how they, like on Yahoo, on ESPN, like they, you put your lineup in, then you go look, and it says, you've got a 55% chance to win this week. In like 6 weeks, mine hasn't been over 15. Now, that's before anyone plays.
It's AWS running those stats.
Yeah. That's before anyone even takes the field. But I'm in the playoffs in the other 2. So I'm in last or second to last in 2. I'm not in first in either of the other 2, but I'm in the playoffs in the other 2.
Cardone, I'll give you the floor just to reiterate.
I am happily retired from fantasy football, so I maxed out at 3 leagues and was rolling for a while. I definitely had fun with it for many years. Like I said, I was in a league with you guys for many years. Enjoyed it, man, but I just decided I ran into too many bad beats, man. I just had a stretch across 3 leagues. I believe I lost 5 straight championship games, and in various different leagues. One of them was our league. I was in a work league and then another friend league. And I think I had, like I said, 5 different championship games. I lost all of them. The last one was, I remember I can't even remember what it was. Something to do with Todd Gurley just doing something stupid or something. That's how far
Todd
back
Gurley.
it was. Yeah. If I have that right. And I just decided I couldn't do it anymore. I'm like, you know what? I can't. I just got way too depressed, angry, frustrated, all of it. And I don't miss it, man. I got to be honest. I don't.
The Giants
So
get you angry enough, so
That's
you
it.
got
Yeah.
plenty of anger.
No, yeah.
So Mike also asks, who was, we touched upon this earlier, but who was the quarterback who came in for Tyrod? Your thoughts on him, and thoughts on the beard of your coach, because it's sort
the
of
white beard.
Yes.
I wish he would get rid of it. He'd look about 10, 15 years younger. But Brady Cook is what he is. He's an undrafted free agent. Anyone that thinks he's going to all of a sudden light the world on fire, he's not. At best, he could be a backup quarterback, but I don't think he's going to be. I really just don't care. I have, like Cardone with DeVito a couple of years ago. I don't need to know him. I don't want
Get
to
to
know
know
him.
No, we don't need to get to know him.
No one needs to know Brady Cook. Fine if he play. If I'd want him to play until the end of the year. Why not? Lose? I don't give a shit. Just let's see someone different. Fine, but no, he's not worth anything.
By the way, you brought up DeVito's name. He cropped up in one of those progressive backup quarterback commercials. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I
He's
saw
in
that.
one
Yeah.
now. Yeah. He takes the place of a little kid in a family photo or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's DeVito. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the backup that comes
Yep.
in and they like, whoop, Tommy DeVito. We touched upon this in our predictions, but the Giants are 2.5-point favorites against Commanders. Does that shock us? And 2, is that the kiss of death? And I think based on our reactions, no, it's not the kiss of death, because I think we expect the Giants to win this. And I think the Commanders are the ones that are really reeling. Zach Ertz is hurt. Daniels might be hurt. This team is crumbling.
We're favored by 2.5 at home, which means the league actually thinks that Washington's a 1.5 better than we are, or half a point better, because you get an automatic 3 just for being at home. Yeah, I certainly don't think it's a kiss of death. I don't think you could kiss it. If this team hasn't been kissed by death already, I don't know. I don't know what kiss of death even feels like. I mean, if we lose, big deal. We go to who cares? But yeah, I think this team got kissed by death a long time ago.
Yeah. I was trying to remember the last time we were favored.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one. I would love to know that, actually. Then Mike also asks if we could spend, or what do we think of the Manning cast? I personally, I like the Manning cast. I do think it's on the cusp of getting a little bit old, but they have to keep getting guests on there that are fine. Otherwise, I think they're fine. I like the idea of watching a game like as you're talking about it. If my team's in that game, I really don't want to watch that, but the format still works for me.
Like I didn't listen to so Giants Patriots right last week. Because I think I watched the regular broadcast. I did not watch Manningcast. Because partly because sometimes I'm not always a big fan of the guests who they bring on. So I think maybe to your point, Scott, I think some of it's gotten a little bit already. I don't know if stale's the right word or whatever, but it's still funny. I still laugh. It depends on who they have on. Like I'll tune in depending on who their guest is. If it's someone I don't want to listen to or hear from, I won't. Why bother? I won't listen. That's just me.
They had, like I think I said last week, they had Danny DeVito on when hit the pitching wedge into the turf.
Oh yeah.
Which I mean, you couldn't script it better, right? You're going to have a 4-foot guy comedian on there laughing at you. It was just, it couldn't have been better. But
yeah, I love the idea. I love how original it was. There's so few new and original things that happen around the sports world that was kind of a cool thing. But I haven't watched it in maybe a year and a half. I think maybe at least for me, it's kind of the novelties wore off a little bit. But
See, I've watched them this entire.
I do tip my cap to the idea, to the originality.
Yeah.
There's only so many bad jokes Eli can make about Peyton's forehead that, like it's a little.
Right.
If the Giants are not playing on Monday night, I'm watching the main cast when it's on.
Sure.
Mike also asks a question here too, and it's if we could spend some time in a comic strip. So this is more on Mike's level here. Which one are we spending time on, and who would we pick and why? For me, I don't know enough about comic strips. I would pick Batman. I like Batman. I am Batman. That would be it. But I'm sure about these kind of things.
Yeah.
If we could pick a comic book to spend time in, like
a comic
be
strip
in that
to
world,
spend time in. I mean, literally, if I could spend a comic strip to spend time in, it would be Dilbert. But that's a little bit esoteric.
No, that's a good one. I think that's a good one. Now, hanging out in Gotham would be great. I don't know. I think Gotham's kind of like Detroit. I don't know. It seems like the crime is pretty rampant there. So, I don't know. But Spider-Man is a cool one. He's right in New York City. They didn't make up a city for Spider-Man. So, that'd be my answer. Gotham, New York.
Can it be any comic strip, or does it have to be? What was it? Does it have to be a superhero one?
I think it's just a comic strip. It doesn't matter which one.
I would enter Peanuts. I think I was always a big fan of Charlie Brown, and I would punch Lucy in the face when she took that football away as Charlie Brown's trying to kick a field goal. Which, by the way, you think Brown would figure out, like, I ain't falling for this shit again. You know what I mean? Like, he still does. love the guy.
Brown calls him Brown. Come on, Brown. Get on.
The thing that always bugs me on Charlie Brown, the guy is like, he's a teenager with he's already bald.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
He's got one sprig of hair. That's it.
It's true.
And adults make fun of the kid by giving him rocks at Halloween. Think about how this poor friggin' kid, man.
Yeah. Poor Charlie.
Oh, I got rocks.
Remember at Halloween, Pigpen had just the white sheet as a ghost, but he still had the goddamn cloud of dust around him, so you knew it was him around the sheet. I got.
So then my friend Stu asks, and this is the last question: if Summerall and Madden were still around today, would they still be as loved as they are? I have to be honest with you. I don't think they would be. I think it has to happen at a certain time. Now, would football broadcasts be as extensive as they are? No. But I don't know if you could say they'd be as loved, because you'd have a lot of the internet now would be shitting on things that they'd say.
They'd just be a couple old guys.
Yeah, I mean, the game is different. Like, there's the flag on every play. You can't touch the quarterback. Like, all of the things that we hate, it's because they were good at calling the game when we loved it. And it's not the same anymore. So, no, I don't think they would be any good. I mean, as great as they were, and they were the greatest of all time, no, I don't think they would be as good.
I sure would like to hear Madden on some of these things that happen in the NFL today, though. Yeah. Wouldn't you like to hear Prime Madden talk about that ball getting punched out of Isaiah Likely's hands? Oh, what they're talking about here. He's got, that would be.
That's true.
What I'd actually like, Mike, too, is both their perspectives on just anything, like calling a regular game and like have a, when we do a replay, I would love to know what they think about that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear Madden's take on the current state of pass interference. I'd love to hear, the one thing Madden always said that I always agreed with back in the days, like, when I coached, you took people off the pile. Whoever had the ball at the bottom had the ball. He's like this knee down, 2 feet equal one shin. He hated that shit. He's like, the play's over. Whoever holds the ball at the end of the play, they now have the ball. That's it.
Do you guys remember, though, how awesome we thought the CBS chalkboard was when they first invented that? Because if my memory is right, like those were the first 2 guys like to really demonstrate the CBS chalkboard, like in between plays, and like it was the coolest freaking thing ever. Like and Madden was awesome at telestrating it. He's like, then the guard's gonna pull over here and boom, he's gonna seal off the end, and the running back's gonna come around. And the way it was just awesome. The CBS chalkboard.
It was great.
I heard something last week about why they broke up Summerall and Brookshire. If you remember Tom Brookshire, and it was drunk. Because the 2 of them would both be drunk by the time the game would start. Yeah. So they said Brookshire had to go, Summerall could stay, and Summerall should really be with Madden. And there was a period of time when Madden actually played, not played, but announced 3 games with Vin Scully. And those 3 games, they said Madden and Scully fought for who would actually talk because they were talkers. Whereas Summerall was very succinct. It would be like,
that's like putting two color guys together, right?
Exactly.
They didn't have a straight man.
So then Summerall and Madden got paired together, and Madden could talk, and Summerall could be like, third down.
Yeah.
And that was it. It worked. It worked.
It was a great team, and it just
were the best.
It was great because everyone you hear today is trying to copy it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And no one's even been close to Madden specifically, but Madden, the way he could loosen Summerall up, Madden's up there. He got Summerall talking about baby buckets and stuff. I mean, it was.
Oh.
Now we got a baby bucket.
I associate Summerall's voice with the Giants. I just, for whatever reason, that's the first team that comes to mind. I can hear him saying their name for whatever reason. Madden, I don't for some reason, but Summerall, I do. For the Jets, for me, it's always going to be Don Criqui. The second I hear his voice, I think of the Jets because he feels like he did every Jet game.
And it's funny, Novak, now you say that, I don't know who called the game when Summerall said, word from the bench, everything hurts. It might have been Summerall in Madden, but I don't remember it.
No,
it was definitely Summerall. Yeah.
Yeah, but who was the other guy? Was it Madden?
Or was it
Brook? No, it was.
It
was Madden.
Yeah. I still remember Summerall as going through the Giant defense, like linebackers, Taylor, Banks, Reasons, and Carson.
Yes.
Just the way he would rattle off the names was just awesome. Yeah, I can still remember the 4 linebackers.
Yep.
It's funny. I don't remember the rest of the defense, him saying it, but when he got to the linebackers, Carson, Banks, maybe I'm not sure in which order he did it. I don't remember exactly, but Carson, Banks, Reasons, and Taylor was awesome.
You guys got anything else tonight?
I have one thing for you Giant fans, you 3 and other Giant fans listening. Something you've got to pay a little attention to. It came out this week. Your boy is now dating like one of the biggest social media influencers that's out there right now. You do not want this guy getting into this Hollywood social media influencer.
Right. Did he
all
steal
that shit.
Belichick's girlfriend?
No, but I'll leave it at that. But I dealt with this with Zach Wilson. Kid from Utah comes to New York. All of a sudden, he's like dating all these influencer types. You don't want that. It's a bad idea. I'm just saying.
I have to do my own research on this. What's her name?
I forget. I don't know her name, but they said it today. Yeah. There was a big article on it in the New York Post today. But
don't need to go. I hate to always go back to Bill Parcells, but it's the one thing he always said. I don't want a celebrity quarterback.
What Madden would say about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, no, you can't go with it. Boom.
I do have one more thing, Scott. The snow in Buffalo, man. I love bad weather games this time of year, and seeing the snow coming down Cincinnati at Buffalo was just awesome. So I wish it was still grass. You know what I mean? We'll never see mud and dirt and all that nonsense anymore, but with all the turf fields and shit. But it's just awesome to see. You tune into Buffalo, you just see the white field, snow coming down. Nothing better than that.
It was great.
Yeah.
All right, so we are Three Angry Giant Fans of Jet Fan Podcast. We'll be back next week breaking down the games. Thank everyone for tuning in this week, and we probably will have a lot to discuss, whether it's first seeds, second seeds, or just the games on hand. We're here.
That's right.
All right. See ya.
Everyone have a great week.